Hey, we're gonna have two shoe reviews today, so lucky you. The second shoe I'm gonna review today is the Chuck Taylor, produced from 1917 until now. A lot of people probably think that Converse made sneakers from the beginning when they were founded in 1908, but that's not true. 1917 is the year they came out with this, and basically without this there would be no sneakers at all because Converse did it first. Details: you got a rubber sole and you got a canvas upper, because this is one of the original colorways and it's not one of the specialty shoes that I will get around to later. You have contrast stitching, and you have grommet eyelets that are made from steel, I believe. Pretty much any basic colorway of the Chuck Taylor will come with white laces, standard. On the bottom, you will always be able to find out what size the shoe is, unless you beat the shoe to death so badly that you can't read the bottom. And you have the ankle patch, which was not originally on the shoe, but it was suggested by Chuck Taylor, who was a big fan of the shoe and wore it during his playing days. And when he toured the country selling the shoes, he became an icon. Other things about him: his favorite colorway of the Chuck Taylor was white for some reason. He really liked the white ones. Basically, this is the same shoe. It's not exactly the same, but we'll get into that later. You have these two ventilation holes in the side that they're okay. They don't do the job that well, but they do it well enough, so it's perfectly fine. So let's go over ways to distinguish real Chucks from fake ones. I don't have any fake ones, so you'll just have to take my word for it. On a fake Chuck Taylor, oftentimes what you will see is, instead of the stitching just going straight up, they'll have another row of stitching going this way, and that's a good way to tell if they're fake, like if they're made by Airwalk or something, because Airwalk kind of took the design, and a few other manufacturers make fake Chucks too, but this is just for the purpose of being able to tell the difference between real and fake. If they're real, it'll say All-Star on the back and you'll have a star here. And on the bottom, obviously, where this part on the fakes is blank, on the real Chuck Taylor, it says Converse, it has the star, and it says the size of the shoe. And obviously, the shoe, if it's real, it has the patch. If it doesn't have the patch, it's fake. Or it fell off because you wore it a ridiculous amount of times and should have gotten rid of it years ago. Problems with the shoe are, it's not the most comfortable thing ever. Obviously, because it was designed in 1917. So, you really have to be able to deal with the fact that what you're getting is basically the most basic footwear you can possibly have that isn't sandals. Other than that, even though it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, it's still better than sandals. And I say that because you can wear them to the beach and not get sand in them. And even though the air holes in the side aren't the most breathable thing, they still do the job to an extent. Other problems with the shoe are if you wear it enough, like all the time for like a month, and you don't switch out any other shoes, it's going to start to come apart because they're constructed so simply and basically using the same method from 1917 that, yeah, you just can't beat the crap out of them and expect them to be around forever. It's canvas up here, it's not leather or something different. So it'll develop holes, the upper will separate from the sole, and you will need to find $45 so you can get another pair. Shouldn't be too difficult. I've seen people with tons of pairs of these, so really shouldn't be too big of a problem. So more historical stuff coming your way right now. Originally produced as a high top, there is also low top versions of the Chuck Taylor. Which is more popular? I would say the high top, because some people who are into Converse don't even consider the low top to be a real Chuck Taylor. Maybe it's because it doesn't have the patch from the high top, but you know, they had to diversify a little bit. Making the same shoe 3 or 4 decades in a row gets kind of boring, doesn't it? So they branched out, came out with some new colors. I think I mentioned earlier that the original colors were black and white, but obviously, as you can see, they branched out. These are purple, and I like them quite a lot. And I don't really see a big difference between the high top and the low top. I think the high top has its benefits, and I think the low top has its benefits. For instance, the low top is easier to get on and off, and that's basically the main advantage. I'm just going to keep going with the different materials I have available to talk about here. This one is made of wool. It came out last year. So basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that the Chuck Taylor is so simple that you can apply different materials to it and it'll still look pretty darn good. The wool ones are very warm. They're good for fall. I bought them last fall. And since I have so many shoes, they didn't really get used that much, but I'm trying to use them more this fall to balance it out a little bit, I guess. Very nice shoe. Keeps your feet warm in the 40 to 50 degree temperatures. I don't see a real reason to wear it for temperatures higher than that, but definitely a good shoe. They were kind of limited edition, but not really. They were pretty readily available. 1 second, and I have some more versions to show you if I can get them without having the tower back there fall on my head. So, 1 minute.
I hear him say, we seize the day to